Hi, I'm Stapler. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and this is Sonic Second, where we talk about Sonic Underground.
Hi, I'm Franky. My pronouns are he, they, and she. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you, listeners, for saying it's nice to meet you too. uh,
Okay.
I don't have any Sonic-related developments recently, other than I drew a Sonic Underground related thing recently. And if you want to know my experience with Sonic and how I found out about Sonic Underground, you can listen to episode 1. Okay, Frankie, what is your experience with Sonic?
So honestly, growing up, I have no experience with Sonic. I feel like that one kid who's never really grew up with any Sonic games, any Sonic TV shows, which is honestly very sad, especially how I tried to get into Sonic, I want to say in 2022. Still not that into deep into the fandom or the franchise, but I like it. I like Sonic. I think he's cool.
Awesome. I think Sonic's cool too. How did you first hear about Sonic Underground?
Because of you, Marley.
So you'd never heard of it until I told you about
Yes,
it.
exactly.
Fair enough. The episode we're talking about today is To Catch a Queen. I have notes written down based on the episode, and I'm not really good at summarizing, so I last time just talked about the notes that I had, and my friend was like, hey, can I summarize before you go into every detail? Do you want to summarize To Catch a Queen, or should I just start looking at my notes and you can add your input?
Oh, you should definitely start, and I'll add anything.
Okay. So the first thing I wrote isn't even related to the episode, but it was something that I was thinking about that I was like, I want to talk about this on the podcast. And that is the color scheme. Wonderful Precure isn't out yet, but the designs are, and we have an official color scheme, and that is pink, purple, blue, and green. Now,
Ooh.
these characters don't all look that right. Like, the pink one kind of looks like she's wearing red, and then the blue one looks mostly white, but still, like, the official color scheme, that's the same as Sonic Underground, because we have Sonic, who's blue, Manic, who's green, and then Sonia, who's pink, and then their mother is purple. And then
Oh,
and I
okay.
also noticed that both Wonderful Precure and Sonic Underground share the color scheme with Powerpuff Girls, which is pink, blue, and green. And then there's like this one character who appears once, Bunny, who's purple. And then you can also count Bliss if you want to, who's also purple. Do you know about Bliss?
Bliss from where?
From the 2016 version of Powerpuff Girls.
No.
Oh, well, she's purple. Okay, so in the first scene of this episode of To Catch a Queen, we have Queen Alina narrating, and she starts by saying, Queen Alina here. Let me get some water. Okay, I drank the water. I know, exciting water moment.
Yes, water moment.
And she's like, Argus, a trusted captain of my personal guard, was on his way to a secret red of a... It's a French word that I don't know how to pronounce, which I would have known if I
What is it?
remember.
Rendezvous?
What?
Rendezvous? Rendezvous?
Yeah, rendezvous. Because
Yeah.
I'm writing it down because I have a version of it that has subtitles, and I
Oh.
forgot how they said it in the show. So if I didn't have subtitles, I just would have written it down based on how I heard it, but I didn't. I should have put in parentheses how it sounded like it was pronounced, but oh well. But yeah, he's on his way to a secret rendezvous and was spotted by Sleet and Dingo, who wanted to capture the queen. Manic and Sonic talk about how Sleet is trying to capture Mom, and Sonia is like, Sonic, stop this van immediately. And they were originally gonna go to do something related to Bartleby, and Sonia says, Bartleby can wait, Mother can't. Sonia says this in a loud yelling voice, which doesn't match the animation. Like, in the animation, she's smiling, and it looks like she's saying a normal sentence. But the audio is like, ah!
Stop. I've noticed that too with a lot of scenes in the show. And I think it's funny. Those are the type of things in that show that make me laugh.
Yeah, that's the thing. I really like shows that you could consider low quality in some ways because they're charming. And that's part of the reason I wanted to make this podcast. I wanted to make a thing where I make fun of the show, but in a way that shows that I love it, instead of, this show's terrible, the animation, blah, 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 in like the most negative attitude.
Yes, I can tell.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Thanks. And Manic says, we're waiting, which is like, there's a lot of I'm waiting, we're waiting in Sonic Underground, and I think that might have appeared in older Sonic cartoons. I'm not quite sure, but it's definitely a running gag in this version. Argus escapes his vehicle running. In this scene, and the scene before of him driving, he was very chill, smiley-faced. And then when he sees Sleet and Dingo's Scorpion car ship, he shows a face of fear. Which, again, that's something I find funny, because, like, why was he smiling before if he already knows he was being chased? I mean, I guess it's because, like, he was just caught, and he's like, oh, I'm doomed. But, I don't know, I still think it's kind of peculiar. Dingo turns into a baby, and he gets thrown at Argus, and when he's caught, he turns back. Dingo says, the old flying baby trick works every time. And that's such an interesting touch that they added, it works every time, because that means they've done it before, but I'm pretty sure we don't see it in the show again. So I guess they've just not done it on camera, or they just never do it again. I don't know.
They just needed to put in that line.
Yeah, they needed to put that line in. It was so necessary. Sonia tells Sonic to check the hovercraft for clues, and he says he already did. Shows proof, and Sonia is shocked that he could go to the speed of light to do so. I guess Sonic and Manic haven't known him for long enough to know he could do that. And after I wrote that note down, I tried to check episode 1 if either of them saw him moving really fast. And Manic definitely did. And also, like, you wouldn't know, Franky, because you didn't watch episode 1. But in episode 1, it's not even, like, them meeting for the first time. It's shown that they've known each other for a little while. So it's, like, unclear. And this is one of those weird drawbacks of not writing the origin story before everything else. Because I feel like the writers weren't sure what they were doing at this point. We see they don't remember what Mom looked like. I was definitely a fool in episode 1. And by don't remember, I mean last they saw her, they were infants. So they don't know what she looks like.
Oh.
Yeah, because in episode 1, I criticized them thinking that Dingo was their mom, because I was like, they look nothing alike. But if they don't know what their mom looks like, then yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Sleet tries to take Argus to tell him and Robotnik where to find the queen, and he refuses. He gets roboticized in later episodes. I wrote roboticization looks a bit different, but I meant roboticization. This ugly lady says she's excited for her first robot ceremony.
Yes, I remember, and then there's nothing to do with her in the rest of the episode.
Yeah, and there's a lot of ugly characters in Sonic Underground. Like, pretty much every character who's a one-off is really ugly, or background characters. Super ugly, and I don't know why they chose to do that. I don't know why they made this show so ugly. And it's not like they didn't know how to design characters. I mean, maybe they did. I'm not sure. But a lot of people who worked on previous Sonic cartoons worked on this one, and the previous ones didn't have such ugly character designs. So I don't know what happened.
Yeah, me neither.
Sonic and Sonia... Or wait, no. I wrote Sonic and Sonic. I think I meant Sonic and Sonia. They're in robot costumes. Sonia keeps saying, where the main console should be put. And she keeps changing her mind. Sonic says she should do it herself because he keeps, like, moving it. And she's like, all you had to do was ask. And she picks it up with ease, while Sonic was struggling before. So she's clearly the most physically strong out of all of them. I mean, maybe
Yes,
Manic's
that's so
stronger, I
cool.
don't know, but she's probably stronger than him. Manic speaks in Sonic's voice. I don't know if I've mentioned this in episode 1, but the 3 of them are all voiced by the same guy, Jaleel White, who, if you don't know who that is, he's the guy who does Steve Urkel on Family Manners. And so it makes sense that if it's by the same voice actor, it would be possible for him to accidentally use the wrong voice. And he does. He uses Sonic's voice when speaking for Manic.
Oh, I didn't even notice, or maybe I don't even remember, but
I mean,
okay.
if this is your first
Interesting.
episode, you might not be able to tell their voices from each other, so it would be hard to notice.
Alright, yeah.
Sonic reveals they're impersonating sound bots, and Manic shouldn't steal because of that. Robotnik basically says having a good time is illegal, which is funny. Just like, it's funny in itself, but it's also funny because there's a popular meme of Robotnik holding a sign in another version of Sonic that says no fun allowed. Sonic breaks his cover to fight Robotnik, and they have an instrument fight with the SWAT bots. I love the idea of using guitars as guns, drumming hard enough for the ground to break, and playing a piano to, I don't know, it did something useful, I think. I think it might have made the fog appear, but that also might have been the debris from the ground falling. They use medallions to undo Argus's roboticization, and they get information about him, temporarily undo his roboticization. They get information out of him, and they're trying to find out where Mother is, and all they get is that she's underground. She's in the underground caverns near something. The medallions need time to recharge, so they can't do it again for now. All I gotta do is put out the word, and my homies will come back with the 411. Which is what Manic says. And
Yeah.
Trio sing a song in front of a lot of people about how they're trying to find someone. Sailor Starlight's moment. I don't think you've seen Sailor Stars, so I don't think you would get that reference. But this situation happens in Sailor Stars. But, like, instead of 3 singers trying to find their mother, it's 3 singers from another universe trying to find a princess, and somehow they think that by singing on Earth, that's how they're gonna find her. Because that makes perfect sense, right?
Yeah.
I know, right?
That's what I would do.
Yeah. I thought so. Sonia makes a comment about how the plan was dumb and it didn't work. The song doesn't indicate they're looking for a queen, yet Dingo. I mean, this random orange guy who heard the song says, I heard you're looking for a queen. I can help you because I know exactly where to find her. This leads to them going to the underground waterworks. Sonic wonders why the queen would want to hang out in water. And Sonia's like, well, some of us like it, drinking and washing and all that. They find a red scarf they thought was Mom's, but was a trap from Sleep. Suddenly the orange guy turns back into Dingo, and it's revealed that he went to dinner with Sonia. I wonder if there was, like, an earlier draft where they actually write that he went to dinner with Sonia, because this just comes out of nowhere. Because he's like, thanks for the dinner, Sonia. And Sonia's like, I took Dingo out for dinner? And it's like, where did that come from, huh?
Wait, I think it's because it was sort of like an exchange for the information they took him out to eat.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
think they should have made that more clear. Because that, I had no idea about that. Unless I missed something and they actually did say something like that. I think that was unclear writing. I wrote down Memento Mori. Sonia found out she went to dinner with Dingo. So I wrote this not knowing what Memento Mori was, because I heard it in a Gem and the Holograms podcast where they would say Memento Mori, buy our dolls, when there was a commercial break, because they often almost died in commercial breaks. And I just thought Memento Mori meant commercial break, but I looked it up, and apparently Memento Mori means the reminder of death in a piece of media. and it's
Yes.
Latin. So you already knew about that?
Yeah.
So maybe it's common knowledge and I just somehow didn't know.
I don't know where I heard about that, but yeah, I think it's been a while since I've done my own research on what that meant as well.
I see. They run away from the SWAT bots. Manic is sorry his plan didn't work, and Sonic apologizes for getting down on him, whatever that means. But Sonya is like, it's okay, everyone makes mistakes, even me. Probably one of my favorite lines from this episode. Sleet says they should give up their search as Alina wouldn't lower herself to hide in a slum. And Sonic says she would do it if it meant stopping Robotnik. Once they unite, Robotnik and his goons won't stand a chance. Dingo transforms into Argus. Wow, he's not orange this time. They use their instruments to make lasers that shoot Robo-Argus. Roboticized Argus is temporarily de-roboticized and points to where the rendezvous point is. In that direction, they see Mother's red scarf and the fake Argus. They know it's Dingo in disguise this time because Argus is in front of them. Sonic has to jump over a pool of water because Manic's board doesn't work. Also, I think it's kind of a nice touch that Sonic is super against water, because if you've played any Sonic game, in the water levels, he drowns if he is there too much or he doesn't get a bubble. Because there's like...
Yeah, that's one piece of Sonic media that I am aware of, which is, I do like that little detail about Sonic's character.
Yeah. So, which games have you played, by the way? I don't know if you mentioned that.
Well, it was just for like background noise, if anything, but it was like a little speed run of Sonic Origins.
Oh, nice. Sonic Origins really good.
Yes. I think I would be terrible at it. I'm bad at those type of games, but I've also seen commentary on the Sonic Adventure games.
Ah, I see.
And I have Sonic Frontiers, but I have yet to play it.
I would love to have Sonic Frontiers. I have it on my Amazon wish list. One day I might get it. It's interesting because that's the first, well, not really the first, but kind of the first open world Sonic game, unless you count this Nintendo exclusive DLC for Sonic Lost World, where it's a Zelda and Sonic crossover.
Ooh.
Yeah. Sonic uses his guitar gun to blast something and crush Dingo with rocks. He also sees Dingo chasing Mother. Argus, still de-roboticized, throws Sleet into the river. Sonic cuffs Dingo to a pole, which leads to him crashing into Sleet. They run away from SWAT bot lasers, and the episode ends with Sleet insulting Dingo. I love how bad my notes are. It's really funny.
Just some typos here and there.
So, is there anything you wanted to say about the episode before we go into the next part?
Well, I think that everything you have covered so far, I've been following, and I'm like, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Okay, so there's nothing you remember that I don't?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. That was actually a very detailed summary. I was expecting the summary to be more brief. Not that it was long. It was longer than I expected because of how much detail you included. No, I think that's good.
Okay, I think we learned a lot from this episode. I'm just trying to remember what I learned. Do you have any ideas of what you learned from this episode?
Yes, I learned that... Wait, how old are the main characters, the main three?
It's never stated in this show, I don't think.
Okay, because I take them for like not really young kids, maybe like teens or something. I don't know. They just, anyways, I was surprised that they actually used their little cartoon minds to realize that the robot guy they were just talking to, and then I forgot his name, but you know, the one that got turned into the robot by Robotnik. Was it by Robotnik or?
It might have been it was by his roboticizer, and I think Robotnik put him in there.
Yes, I think so too. And so when the other two, I have yet to remember their names, but when they did the little shapeshift thing to turn into him, I was like, oh, these kids, they saw from afar that it was him. They're like, huh? But he's here. Not only is he there, but he's also a robot. You know that he's not
Yeah,
flesh and
it's
bone
kind of
anymore.
surprising to
Like,
me too, because like this is the kind of show where they would be too stupid to realize that, especially
yeah,
since, especially since in a lot of episodes they'll see someone who's orange and not know it's Dingo.
exactly. Like that's what I thought too immediately. That the show was that type to pull those like little gags of like, oh, it's sort of like in Pokemon with Team Rocket and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So
so
I learned that sometimes cartoons can even have their satisfying, intelligent moments.
yeah, even the otherwise really dumb ones. I learned that if you're being chased by someone, don't be afraid until they're right about to catch you. Like if you're almost gonna be caught, that's okay. But when they're right about to, then you have to be afraid.
Wait, so you're saying to not show fear while you're getting away, but if they're gaining on you, that's when you're allowed to show fear.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, I'll
The way
remember
you
that.
phrased it makes it sound like way more logical. Because I was just trying to make fun of the show. But yeah. Until next time, see you another Sonic Second.
Yeah. Until next time. What?
For podcast questions, you can email me through staplersound@gmail.com. As for social media, my main account on Tumblr and Twitter is Magical Stapler, with my art account being Stapler Art. You can also commission me at ko-fi.com/staplerart/commissions. That's ko-fi.com/staplerart.
Looks like everything's recharged.